But watch me crank out 6, hold it for a second, then bounce right into that next one. You will see as they get harder, I do a little bit of, I don't know, that's just how my head works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, show them. Nice, nice, nice. I'm still learning how to do it in front of me, in front of a tripod, to get all my pressure and force into it without wiggling off camera. So this one is the Iron Mind. We already did some Iron Minds. This is a 1.5. And again, for you of us just joining us, this 1.5 comes in at 84. It could come out at 1,000,000 right now. I will be shutting this 6 times. I don't care. This is my set block. I hold it out here like this. Not everybody does. It's just faster to reel it in and go click, click, click. Come on, God dang it. 6 coming up, 6 coming up, 6 coming up. Ah! 5, 6, hold it. So those all count, right? Here's what I can't figure out for the life of me. And it's not a big deal yet. Actually, let me make my notes first. So we just did 6. We just did 6. I should point out the jumps start getting bigger, so they get slightly scarier. That's going to be really tough. Yeah, man, I commented on it. I love that video you made. The jumps are going to start getting bigger, but we're bringing the reps down. I'm hoping that it balances itself out. I think it will. So 6 and 6. We just did 88 pounds of pressure, right? That's what we saw in the right hand. And that looked pretty good. Now we have to jump up. I'll say this. Because it's percentage based and you're using a max gripper, I'm saying I can close a 126 in my hand. Well, really, for this set, I'm supposed to use a gripper that's 80% that strength. Well, it actually comes in at like 100.5. Well, I don't own any 100.5s. So the nearest and dearest I have is a wonderful Captains of Crush, number 2. This one comes in at 103, and this one I'll be using. A 5-pound jump and grip, Eric, is absolutely nuts. It honestly, well, think, you have your little hand. So my little hand was using 88 pounds of pressure. Now it has to go to 103. I'm going to notice that. I don't care. I took up the challenge. I said I'm going 7 weeks. I said I'm going to excel in each 7 weeks. The left hand needs to go to the 88. Well, we just saw this, right? Let's clean up this tag. She's not as shiny as she should or could be. This one is 88 pounds of pressure. We just used it for the right hand. We're going to crush in the left hand. Yeah, smooth operator. I can imagine for sure it's humid in Houston. We are not having that problem here, my guy. We did this a second ago, and I'm curious. Tonight we're doing some grip training, and I'm just curious, for those people in the chat, you never have to like or comment if you don't want to, but if you do train grip, hit the number 1, then we know. If you don't, you can hit number 2. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious. If you're bold and brave, let us know where you're from. Moreover, let's start shutting some grippers. Yes, more number 1s. King Griffith is a number 1. That's very cool. There's people on here training the grip. I wonder how they found the channel. So this is a 103. It's a Captain of Crush number 2. You can see that, a little upside down there. We're dropping reps. So now we're going to do this for 4 reps. And for me, honestly, this is kind of where the rubber hits the road. I don't think it's so difficult to grab grippers and do high reps. For me, it gets harder when you start saying, all right, less reps, harder weights. That's where I generally start to know it. So what you're going to see here, for those just joining, got the gripper. We're going to close it for 4 reps. But between each rep, we're going to take this 20 millimeter set block. We're going to pass it through the handle. You might hear some of this. You might hear some. It's passing through. That means we're going to shut it, and we're going to open it up just enough for this to slide right through. We're going to shut it again. That is coming at you 4 times. That's a little bit more chalk than I like. Now the pants have some chalk, and now my hand's happy. When I have a tag, I put the tag on the palm side, not the finger side. So you're going to hear me do a little bit of deep breathing. I better bash this thing. I want to shut this thing so fast and hard. I hope these handles get smelted together. Set of 4. That was harder. For those that saw the set before, that I still got it. The 4 were there, no doubt about it, but it was harder. I still think, even though I'm wearing all these clothes, knowing that we showed the thermometer and the awesome thermometer showed us about 58, 59 degrees in here, I still can't really get warm. The fingers feel slightly chilly. We did a lot of lunges before the stream, hoping that would help. Now look at this nice, pretty gripper. This one comes in at 88 pounds of pressure. We're in the left hand. The left hand's going to have to go like this 4 times. But really, what you're going to see on your end with the gripper is this. Hold. Show them. Right? That's what we're going to do. I think that's enough chalk. I especially think that because the knurling on this is definitely louder than the last one. It's sharper. There's more to it than that. Let's do the breathing. Let's get in here. Let's pound this thing shut. Okay. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's weird because that left hand felt super strong there. There were more in the tank, which is good because we, hey, how's it going? Are you trying to close the number 3 on both hands? When I was in my 20s, I did a lot of strongman. It was awesome. It was fun. I did a lot of grip. It was awesome and fun. Those 2 things are still strong. Still good. I just haven't trained them as much. So at the end of the 7-week program, I will get a number 3. I'll show you the one I'm aiming for if you want, if that's interesting to you. I'll shut that. I feel pretty good about it. What'll be different is I've never actually, I got 200 off the ground and 200. Oh, nice. I've never done that. I've never done it with this. I've never set the gripper, waited, passed it, shut it, showed it. In the past, when I've done a gripper, it's called a deep set. So that's where you just, here, I'll show you a deep set. We're doing millimeter sets tonight. A deep set is just where you take this hand and you get it so far down, you wrap it. You're kind of close to being closed already, so are you shutting it? Well, yeah. Did you use this hand to really do it? Yeah, you kind of did a lot. So to answer your question, I'm guaranteeing a right hand. That's what I think. Left hand, I'm not sure. You know a lot about grippers. Which one are you currently working on? Let me take my notes. 4. Here, you know what? Let me say, do you guys mind if I say something? Because I think this is interesting. Although I think a lot of things are interesting. So the right hand, the 3rd set, we used a gripper, this one. That was 88 pounds of pressure. The way the math worked out and what I was supposed to use, I didn't really have to have, or I didn't have. So I should have been using a 90. I don't have one. I used an 88. Then the next set that I just did 4 reps of in the right hand was supposed to be 100. Well, I didn't have it. The closest I had was 103. So if you think about it, that was a 15 pounds of pressure jump. Pretty big. I'm pumped up because when I look at my notes now, I only need to make a 4-pound jump in my right hand to do the remaining 4 reps. So I should have a 107 here somewhere. I bought it from Ian. My buddy Ian didn't want grippers. He wanted nothing to do with it. I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. $20. So we're going to go ham with this one in the right hand. We're going to go 107. I love the comments. Do you know how motivating it is when you see people who actually are into what you're doing? I get extra 5 pounds each hand probably. The left hand is going to be interesting. And here's why I say that. We just did this one. And I can tell you, because I'm experienced, that actually felt pretty easy. At least for me it did. Now I have to make a jump to a 96. Now I own a lot of grippers. I have about 150 grippers. Oh man. Oh, King, you're going to certify on both? That's extremely impressive. I'm on the list now of certified captain of Crush, but keep in mind, they didn't have the credit card rule when you had to do that. Yes, I would have been able to do it with this back then. You know what? I'll show it just real quick. He's talking about certifying on an Ironmind gripper, which is really cool if you can do it. And here's what it means. You have to take a gripper. You can set it however you want, but at some point, you have to have it open. Oh, there's the official card. You have to allow the handles to be this width. So right about there would come, and then you shut it. It's a much harder feat than what I'm doing. I'm trying to work up to that. I went from doing things like this, shutting a gripper with a deep set. You get it down there and you say, okay, ready, go. Now I'm using a 20 millimeter. Once I've done that, what's the natural progression? 30. So I'm proud of my guy because honestly, if you do a 205 The 2.5 like that, you're very good. Not a lot of people can. I have some easy 2.5s I can do it on, but not the hard ones. King, you understand that not all grippers are created equal, right? Hey, John Bradley, love to have you. You must train grip. So left hand, we need to find a 96. Where are you, my love? I love my 96 gripper. 95. Oh, I was looking for a blue tag. The blue tag is 95. So this is 96. Here's what we're talking about, gang. When I say I'm looking for something that's 96, it's not going to say 96 on the bottom. What 96 means is it takes 96 pounds of pressure to touch these together. And I like knowing that. Boricua's in the chat. Boricua, lo Boricua. What I like about it is that once you know how strong these are, you know how strong your hand is, you can use percentages. You can use awesome programs like this, right? And you can crank out, hey, I should be using this weight. Hey, I should be using this strength gripper. That's when the real gains start. At least that's what I think. Real quick, we're going to shut these grippers. One comment first that I'll make, where the right hand is now going to 107, which is awesome because it was using a 103 before. That's a small jump. I'll hammer that. I guarantee I'll hammer that. The left hand used an 88. Now it's jumping to a 96. So that's a little bit bigger jump. Hey, for all the people hopping in here, I appreciate the support. I thank you being here. Type of number 1 if you train grip. Type of number 2 if you don't train grip. And gang, if you don't train anything, put a 0, I guess. So this is the second to last set before we knock out some other forms of hand training. I have to get this 4. I guarantee I'll get this 4. You'll see this. You'll see me shut it. I'm going to put this between the handles. Shut it, push through the handles. I'm going to do that 4 times. Really what we're looking for, we want to make sure that the gripper has opened up far enough where I'm passing this through the handle. Sound good? Now what I'm going to do, rather than straddling the tripod like I have done, because you're really holding it quite a bit, it may not seem like it, I'm holding it pretty far away, which is harder, I'm going to step to the side a little bit, and I'm going to try to insert a little bit more from the bottom, a little bit more quickly, rather than having to give all you guys a big hug. Regardless, I owe you 4. There you go. I'm going to do my big breaths, and then we're going to go for it. There, got it. Not as easy as I would have liked. That wasn't as easy as I would have liked, if I'm being totally honest. But we got it. We only had to get 4. We got 4. We're good with that. We have a decent jump to make in the right hand for the next set. Having said that, here's what pumps me up. And I can honestly say this. I love this gripper. This is the Ironmind number 2. No 2 grippers are created equally. The springs are different strengths sometimes. This one comes in at 96 pounds of pressure, which is actually a collectible because for a number 2, that's pretty light. Same thing. You're going to see it in the hand. You're going to see close, 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 close. Got to do it 4 times. I owe you 4 reps. Should be pretty doable. We just knocked out one gripper pretty easily in the left hand. Get some big breaths in. Pin it down there. Come on. So that's shut. Again, gang, I don't know how convincing that was. I said that backwards. It's convincing. I know I got it, but it's not everything I wanted. Yeah, send your stuff to. So my buddy Eric's talking about these tags. These tags are the rating. It says how strong your gripper is. You get these when you send these to Cannon Powerworks. They put it in the machine, they lightly touch the handles together, and they say, hey, this one was 96 pounds of pressure. Jimmy McGahe, really, you do that? You train your grip? That's awesome. How do you train your grip? And Ibram, hi man. Hey, you guys feel free to sub the channel. I absolutely love when people chat it up in here. It pumps me up a lot, and you won't miss it if you sub it. You'll always be with us. The whole reason why we're here tonight is this next set. Everything else has been fun, but this is what this really costs. I'm reading the comment. This is the whole reason why I'm here. In the right hand, I absolutely must. Where is it? This is a very collectible, very rare gripper. It's rated at 113. More in a second. The hand grippers that you're asking about, here's just your regular, straightforward Iron Mind $25.95. Go to their website, they'll ship them to you. That's how much one of these costs. Some of these others, this one, please don't laugh, please don't tease in the comments. This one you'd sell for about $325. I had some guy offer me $350. And that's the same with these Christmas greens. It's the same thing there. So those are pricey. This one is substantially more expensive than both of those. You know about John Brookfield. He still trains his grip. I don't know if you know that. Jimmy, that's sweet, man. John Brookfield, when I was in my 20s, I read a lot by him. So that's how much these cost. That's where you're going. We go to Iron Mind. The only thing that matters now is what I have to do. The right hand, this is the gripper we're going to use in about 2 minutes, and we are going to shut it a lot. Then the left hand, I need a 103. Here's my 103. Now, I am slightly nervous. When it comes to shut it, we won't think about this, but if I'm being honest, that one in the left hand, the set didn't feel great. I was really having to squeeze to try to shut it, and I would have liked the set before this one to feel a little easier. The right hand still felt okay with the 107. You have a first generation, hey, that is good. John, how'd you do that? Where'd you find that, John? That's really good, man. I'm being serious. I'd have paid more than that. I just want a minute. I'm just going to recover the CNS a little bit. I'll talk a little bit more grippers. Hang tight because I'm going to shut these. After I shut these, I'm going to do 1 or 2 small assistant movements. Maybe some people are familiar with some of these, and if they are, hey, that's awesome. If you're not, well then great. You're here, you can learn something. When I have my notes, if the sets go normal and easy and predictably, I just put the reps. By 4. By 4. But what I have to do for that one in my left hand with that 96, that wasn't easy. It wasn't. I think I could have done 1 or 2 more. So I have to put that note because I want to remember felt hard. Now what I really do, and this is nerdy, this is me being nerdy, felt hard. If something felt hard but not too hard, I put hard-ish. Yeah, I messed around with some of the back ends. I don't really want to talk. I don't really want to recover. I just want to close the gripper now. If you tell me the exact year it was, I can tell you what it's worth. Barring condition. You have to look condition. You tell me what year they are, I'll make you an offer on them. How about that? So what I just did, I always over chalk my hand to start, so I really bury the chalk in there. I'm just trying to get it in all the fine grooves. In fact, I'd like to double my hand back to do it to really open up the hand. I do it on both. After I've done that, I don't like all the excess chalk. So then I go, that's just something I do. Maybe it's more mental than anything. Honestly, it might be more mental than anything else. That's how I prepare. So here's my 20 millimeter set block. Here's what you're going to see. I'm going to have a gripper in my hand. I'm going to shut it. 1. I'm going to pass it through each time. I'm going to do 4. Now this is what I'll say, and this is the important part. I know how my mind works. I know that traditionally as the grippers get harder, even though the reps go down, I don't excel in that part. So even if I'll be getting 4 on this, don't worry, Uncle Jeff won't let you down. I'm going to try to rep out on this thing. I'm going to go for rep 5, 6. I don't know how far I'll get. I'd like to get at least 6. I need 4. I need 4. If I get 5, I'll sleep in the bed tonight. If I get 3 or less, I don't know what that'll be a long night in my mind. So I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to step to the side. I'm still going to keep this in frame. I just don't want to straddle the tripod. I'm going to get right in here. You're going to hear a couple big breaths because I'm psyching myself up a little bit, I guess you could say. And then you're going to watch me pass the gripper through. Need 4, want 6. I don't know if this is weird to say to people, but I have the world's smallest amount of adrenaline kicking in over a hand gripper. How do you like them apples? Ah! 4. 6, I believe. Come on, chat. Is that closed? Chat, there's 120 of you in there. Usually you can be silent. I have no problem with it. I need to know now. I know I got 6. I know I got 6. I'll go back and watch it in replay tomorrow and happily count 6. What I need to know, and I'm gonna look before I hit gripper left hand, did I get 7? It's so hard to know. All right, I'm looking here. 6. All right, you guys are the best. That's what I needed. I didn't get 7. I got credit for 6. I'm so glad you said that. I get so annoyed at myself if I give myself credit for something I didn't do. So 6 is good. I'm guessing. So, God, I'm gonna really nerd out on people in a second. I'm guessing I use cards sometimes. See this card? You should be able to see it. Sometimes I'll stack like 10 together. Then I'll stack like 5 together. And what I'll do is, I'll do this, watch. These are actually Uno cards. This is some nerdy thing I did back when I was 21 to try to get better at grippers. They didn't have nearly as many grippers. So I'd say, all right, I have a huge gap between them. Well, let me do this. I can't shut the gripper, but can I at least shut it and pinch it to here? Oh my God, look how strong I am. I'd count those cards. In the next set, I'd say, well, technically, if there's 3 less cards, this has to be harder to set. Or I'm sorry, it must be harder to close. There's less in between. The cards aren't as thick. So I'd go, okay, let's get after it. Come on, boys. I go, ugh. And it didn't count for me unless I could pinch and shake. Do you get it? Do you see what I was trying to do there? I had this very gripper. This is the 3rd gripper I ever have. I love this. Got it from my grandpa. That's a story for another day. Don't feel like crying. And then my 3 is there. But the point is there was a massive difference in strength. Less than, okay. The king guy gets it in the Benjamin, have you been here before? I don't know. And yeah, Dano's not in here. My brother Dano, we're going to try to get him on the stream tomorrow. If not, it's Monday. He's going to come do grippers. He's pretty good at it. I can't believe I'm sitting down. I have to go left-handed. So, left-handed, Chad, if you don't mind. I'm using the 96. I'm not feeling amazing about it. So, I have to get 4. I want to get 4. The program dictates that I get 4. How do you train your strength? I'll get to that in 1 second. I have to hit this gripper now. I'm so sorry. People who've been watching for more than 5 minutes know that the whole reason why we're here tonight is what we did in the right hand. We got a W. How do you make a W on camera? Who cares? W. I had to get 4 reps. I got 6. I'm chasing the Captains of Crush number 3. I'm going to show you my number 3 in a second. It is a super, super rare vintage, and the strength is super, super crazy rare. I'll show you guys, and I guarantee you won't believe it. Now, what we have to do in the left hand, this is week 4 of week 7. Now, in the left hand, we're using a 2, a very average 2. The most common number on a number 2 is actually 104. So there you have it. And what I'm going to ask you is, can you please watch this close, please? I will try to do my closes on camera, please. I would absolutely love to get 4. I'm supposed to. My left hand is funky. It's always better than reps than max effort. Just watch it because I'm going to do the same thing. Eventually, I won't be able to tell. And when I can't tell, I stick my arm out really far to get a little bit more oomph, more oomph in it, I guess is the only way to say it. So here we go. You're going to hear a couple big breaths. Come on. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, go. I think that's 5. There's a Benjamin on here and King. You guys are freaking clutch. Where are you guys now? Okay, gentlemen, can you let me know? Anybody can let me know, but those 2 seem pretty freaking dialed in. How many reps was that? That was 6. So I missed 7, right? So, I'm so sorry. Just a quick follow-up. If you remember, okay, nice, Johnny. Puerto Rico chiming in. Was the 7th rep in the right hand closer? Or was the 7th rep in the left hand closer to being closed? Well, you can hear it, I can feel it. How about that? Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I'm just curious if one of those seemed to be closer. I'm gonna move into one other training modality for grippers. But I really don't want to do that until I figure out which one is closer. Oh, you didn't have to retract that. I wasn't offended. So let me show you something let me show you that COC3 that my goal is. It's all good, brother. Hey man, if you're not a part of the channel, we'd love to have you. In fact, all you guys. Some of you guys know a heck of a lot about grippers. This is week 4. Next Saturday we're doing week 5. Feel free to follow or sub, that way you won't miss it. So let me show you guys this one because this is super interesting to me. This is an Ironmind 30. Oh, you know what, let me grab a couple of my 3s because I'm not convinced I can prove my point adequately. So I've got that number 3, I've got this number 3, and I'll just use this. I'll just use the standard number 3. So here's what I want to show you guys. And then some of you guys that are hardcore grip guys, you'll understand it. So this is what number 3s look like these days. The knurling is a little different than the old school. Excuse me, the bands say, oh, wow, it's coming in nice. Captains. So this is Captains of Crush. That's what Ironman calls them. This isn't a number 3. See that? The number 3 refers to the size of the spring. All number 3s have the same size spring. I've got a micrometer, I can measure it. I've done that. The company tells you that, but it's actually true. Now, what's interesting is depending on, look at this freak show gripper. Here's the spring, and look at how low the handle is in relation to it. And although the handles are a little farther apart at the start, your leverage is amazing when you go to close this one. Your leverage is amazing when you go to close this one. This one is one of the lightest number 3s ever. One of. I'm a collector. It's really hard to find these, but I did. But again, look at that. They have the full COC, the number 3 on the bottom. Now look at this one. Oh, I didn't show you this. This one comes in at 135. There are 2.5. I have a 2.5 that has this exact rating. That's a really hard 2.5. This is a really easy number 3. Now look at this, gang. Here's an old school one. Note the band. Well, one, note I have to clean the crap out of this, which I'll do on tomorrow's stream. The day after training, I come on, I clean these, I maintain the springs, and I talk about gripper training. In any event, the band is clear, nothing, either side. You look at the bottom. Well, there's a number 3. A little different style, number 3. Number 3. Oh, we used to, when you used to certify in grippers, the trick we always used is you'd put a lot of chalk powder in there so that the 3 would stand out more. Oh, I just love how it's behaving. Isn't that fantastic? There you go, 3. But it doesn't have the C's on it. This is what we call a double stamp. And this is old. This is an older gripper. This would have been, if the double, Eric probably knows, 0304. Halfway 0304, I think. And then they shut it down and went to newer model. But look at this next. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. This is 139. Knowing that the average strength of an Ironman gripper per Canon PowerWorks that rates them professionally says it's 149, a 139, as Eric pointed out, even 5-pound difference is massive, is huge. Look at this beautiful gripper. Hardcore knurling. Hardcore. Look at how funny it is on the bottom. A deep 3. So that 3 stamp you see is deeper than what they did in the model I just showed you. That's a double stamp. Moreover, this side is actually blank. There's nothing there. So this is a single stamp. Single stamps are the oldest of what they have. A single stamp. This one, hey, if you're gripper guys, don't laugh. Try not to be jealous. 131 pounds of pressure. I have a couple 2.5s that are easier than that. Why is that? Because this is freak show outside of 2 standard deviations. They should have probably chopped the handles off, but I got it. This came from Russia. It was not free. This was not free. I guarantee, I promise you that. And I have one other gripper in here just to educate, just on one quick thing. Oh, and this is yet a 4th style that they made for a super short amount of time. So here's what we're noticing. See the band? That still says Captains of Crush. That's so super cool. God, I love it says that. The bottom. That's the T. The gentleman I bought it from was from Texas, probably not from Houston like our buddy earlier. And he put some ink in there so it would stand out. But there are no C's. This is a double stamp. No C. Captains on the band. Super rare. But it's just a trainer. So it's not that big a deal, right? Boom, boom, boom. Wonderful. Let me just check in on one thing on the comment. I want to see if somebody got back to the one question. I have a number 3. I can tell. How can I tell how old is Icebox? Oh man, Eric. Hey, thanks for being here. Yeah, I'll watch some more of your content you put up. Eric's my good buddy. He puts on super stuff. When did you buy it? When did you buy your gripper? Moreover, William, I want to address that in 1 second. What is the stamping and what is the banding? If you tell me, I'll be able to do that. I'm doing a video first week of January. I'm going to take the different types of grippers that have ever been made, like this old Tedding. Stanley the Manly. It's great to have you. And we're going to go over some certain things. So like this is all steel handle and it's smooth. It's super heavy in your hand. Before I'm not checking out now, but there's one thing I want to show you. Yeah, thanks, man. I really got after it. You must have been on here a while. There's a couple things you can do to train your hand grippers that I don't think a lot of people are doing. The first one I'm going to show you is a pretty basic one, but I think it's useful going over because if you talk to veterans of grip, which I guess I am, they're going to call and say, hey, are you doing your negatives? Are you doing your negatives? What we saw today, they weren't negatives. That was me putting a gripper in here. Man, it's nice having you here, Stanley. And going like this. To the carpal tunnel comment, I do want to address that. So, I'm 43, next week I turn 44. I've competed in strongman. I've been over in Sweden for it. I've been in Malta. I was in Canada a lot. A lot of grip. I've been training my grippers all the time because they're awesome. I absolutely love the crap out of them. What I have found, as have some others, and what a couple doctors have told me, because one time I got some clicking in the elbow. They were talking about COC written on both bands and stamp 3 on the ends. Yeah, but the 3s that are on the ends, do they have the COC with them, or are they just nude, or they're just blank? And what a lot of them say is this. If you're using light grippers, this one is a light one. All the people in the chat, you guys can do this one. I'm telling you that. Whether you train grippers or not, obviously we got some grip guys in here, but even the non-grip guys can do that. And what they say is, when you're squeezing a gripper, although it will be hard to tell, you're working the forearm. Anytime you're using a muscle, you're forcing blood through here, all through the belly of the muscle. The blood carries oxygen, nutrients, and things like that, things that you want in your muscles. By doing that, it helps remove any buildup, any toxins that are just sitting in there, and it's bringing in the good stuff to help heal your muscles. So part 1 of why I don't think, and what I've been told it doesn't cause carpal tunnel is doing things like this is maintaining the health of the muscle fibers themselves. Moreover, when you're doing stuff like this, you're also testing tendons, ligaments. When you don't use things on a regular basis, they tend to get tight. They tend to get stiff. They can even tend to break down if your nutrition is poor, things like that. Also, sometimes arthritis is hereditary, so we should acknowledge that. But by using light hand movements, whether you're curling dumbbells, using a hand gripper, a lot of people use the grip, some of you guys probably have better grips than I do on here, so much manual labor. You're priming and you're keeping these things sharp. Now, what would be an example or something that could potentially damage you? You're super inactive. You don't do anything. And then you have to move a lot of stuff. You're carrying pianos, boxes, tables, all those things all over. So you jack all your forearms up, you're using them ways they haven't, and then you do no kind of recovery. They just sit there. Or you'll do things that way overstretch them that you really shouldn't be doing. Some of those, depending on your anatomy, can be a problem. So the research says that these shouldn't. Now, if you use them inappropriately, of course they could. Not necessarily carpal tunnel, but some kind of problem. So watch what I'm going to do now. Hey, all, how's it going? I appreciate that. Stephen, thanks for being here. William Floyd. Here, I wrestled for years, but I think... So listen, that guy is, it's a counterpoint in some ways, but he might very be right about that. Wrestlers know a lot, and they've trained the grip a lot. Grip training absolutely does not. Okay, Matt, that's been my experience, Matt. This isn't about who's wrong or right. This is just different experiences people have had in life. A lot of things can cause a lot of things. It's hard to know where the root came from. Let me show a negative, and then I actually see a comment here I want to talk about. So here's a negative. We'll use one of these shiny Christmas grippers. Let's use a gripper I can't easily close, so we're actually talking or not just. I will grab Well, how about this one? I wouldn't be able to close this one right now. I have closed it before. This is a GHP. This is a GHP 7. They go up to 10. The 10 is a freak show. I have one. Good luck with it. It's rated 140. There's no way right now, after everything I've done, I could close this. Fresh? Yeah, I think so. But here's the negative. Negatives are used, and again, be careful with them. Some people don't like them. I've had good results. I've had good results for them. What you're trying to do is use one that you can't squeeze, but you're trying to teach your hand to overcome that and overcompensate. It's like if you've ever done a negative on a bench press, maybe you can't hit 315, but if you have your partner lift it out, you do a slow negative, your body's like, oh, this is what it will feel like. It can begin to adapt. The way you do that with a hand gripper is a little different. Nobody can pass you a loaded hand gripper. It would explode. So what we generally do, and again, not everybody likes these, I do. You get it in here. You're going to see me start to set it the same way, and you can do it 2 ways. Once you start closing, you can use this hand to assist it shut, or what a lot of people, what I generally do is, I get it in here, I squeeze as close as I can, I lean on my leg, I shut it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up to the camera. By the time I get it up here, it most certainly won't be closed, but I'm going to fight that for a good 10 seconds, and that's exactly what you're going to see on your end. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But this is an example of a forced negative. Just be careful with them. Not everybody likes them. So I got it here. Bury it. Push it on the leg. Click. This is super hard for me after everything we did. Even normally it might be. I'm trying not to shake. Should have pointed out the GHP have the sharpest knurling after standard, so you could hear it pull on my flesh at the end. You hear it go. I love negatives. Negatives give me confidence. Now that after all this training, I shut it on my leg, it was still in a good position, but I got it here and held it for 10 seconds. I feel like a boss. I'm still not good enough to get this one, but it's a training technique. Negatives. Actually, whoa, listen to this. He trains with the 125s. That's pretty good. What good for the forearms? Is that good for it? That's awesome. A 155 is a hard number 3. John, if you have a 155 coming, that is a hard number 3. You get it from Cannon Power Works. I'm guessing you get it from Matt. That's sick, dude. Challenge is a hold depending between those. Yes, yes. So here are the 3 things I've done. This is I can't believe you said that. That's exactly right. I'm doing a video the 2nd week of January. We go over extra things you can do. I always train positive rep grippers first, but negatives are one thing you can do. What he said is super smart. Who we got there? Tower Time? He's super smart. What you would do is, I don't have a penny. I'll do it with an Uno card, but he's absolutely right. What he said is a great way to train. So much about training grippers is that last little bit. The last little part is so hard. A lot of us can move it to here and we get stonewalled. So what some people have done, and I think this is a fantastic way to do it, we call them coin holds. Penny, dime, nickel. So you're going to get it here. You're using a gripper you can close, unlike the negative. And you're putting something in there, and you're pinching it. Well, what's the point in that? The gripper's already closed exactly. It's forcing you to over-crush. I'm squeezing harder than it takes to close this, because I know if I loosen this hand, literally at any point, watch. If you at any point you let up even a bit, the card is gone, the coin is gone. So a lot of people will say, all right, I'm going to grab my lucky penny. I don't use your lucky penny. You'll shut it, and you'll do it. Say, okay, doing 3 sets of 10 today. 10 today. And they're going to hold it, and those are called coin holds. They're super smart. I would say this, if you get to the point where you can actually use 10 seconds, you might want to use a harder gripper. Negatives are great. Coin holds are great. Strap holds are great. Strap hold, you have a lifting strap, you hang some weight from it, and you pinch. That's kind of the best of both worlds, right? Because you're going like this. And not only do you have to hold it or it'll slip, you have weight in there trying to pull it out of your hand. Man, I can't believe you said that. You're so smart. Yeah, it kind of blew up my hand. And yeah, Cannon Power Works is awesome. And it's good training. The hands looking rough. The hands are rough. I think we see what's going on there, right? So when you do a negative, The sharp knurling's digging in. It's stronger than you, and it is going to force these apart. An important thing is don't let it explode the hand open. Try to go slow and fight it. If you allow it to go too fast, it will open up faster than your hands can go like this. That's the whole point of a spring. A spring exists to do that. So let me say one or two more comments. I say this. We've got a lot of new faces in here. I'd appreciate if you like this stuff, sub the channel. We're doing a lot of grip stuff, and I rented out the mall. So next year, June 14th, I rented out the Mall of America. Maybe some of you guys know what it is. We're having a North American GSI Strong Grip Championship. It's going to be sick. So all this training is just pumping me up about that. Having said that, this is week 4 of week 7. We're going to close the Iron Mind number 3. For those that don't know, this is the Iron Mind number 3. It's got a 3 stamped on it. And if you can close the Iron Mind number 3 in a special way, like this, they make a big deal out of it because it's really hard. I can't close it this way. I'll show you my goal. So if you can get it in your hand, my buddy on here who's ordering the 155, he can probably do it. You set it in your hand, and you have to make sure the handles are no narrower than this. See it? Like that. And then once you showed your judge, hey, I passed it, bam, then you shut it. What I'm working on is a progression. I'm working on this progression. I'm going to set it, and I'm going to make sure I can get this 20 millimeter block between there. And once I can do that with this number 3, I'm going to say, all right, that wasn't so bad. Can I do it with this? This is a 30 millimeter. I know 10 millimeters is a big difference. So look at, this is 30. This is 10. That's actually a pretty big difference. If you want to get real wild, they make a 38. Great company. It's no longer in business. The GHP said, some people say that the credit card is too hard because, my pinky's not even on here now. So I have to use the other hand to get it on there. But by the time my pinky's on there, you know what I mean? It's hard to pass it through. So you have to get creative, and then you shut. But what he said, my buddy Wade, when he came out with his company, he's like, all right, let's do this. Let's just make it so you have to pass some 38 millimeters, which I think is much more user-friendly. But think about this, gang, specifically with the credit card. Specifically with the credit card. Because you're going for a gripper that's super hard, the grippers you're trying to certify on aren't this one. They're super hard. So you're struggling to hold it. It's going to be very difficult, to get it this exact distance. God forbid you're demonstrating it and you're passing it a little higher on the handles. If you're passing it higher on the handles, look at how far apart they actually are. There's room to spare. But it's hard to hold a hard gripper to that perfect angle where it's barely open enough to do that. So a lot of people try to go like this. It's so wide there. It's so hard. Good luck with that. Although I will say, you know what I'm going to do you know what, I'm going to try something quick. The grip is fatigued. I'll grant you that. I'm curious what I could credit card set right now after all of that. Let me start with this. This is the number 1. So I'm going to try this. No choker work. How high of a gripper for your negative? That was a 140. I usually use more than that. Just another decision. Which one is the hardest to do? Watching from. Well, UK has entered the chat, and he has said something very interesting. Look at this. Jimmy McGaw, great to have you here, pal. This is the hardest gripper that I own. If you own this one, it's probably the hardest gripper that anybody owns. It is called the World Class. And don't worry, you can't close it. There's one gentleman who has a shot. Or maybe a freak in Siberia or somewhere else. The springs on this gripper, they belong on a child's toy, maybe? Spring on this. Put it on a train. Well, trains probably don't use springs, but you get my point. This thing, I have a device. I'm so sorry. Next week, I'm calibrating some grippers. This came from Italy. You put it in the blue and the red sleeves, and then you crank it down on the scale. It tells you how strong it is. I'm going to rate this one. Supposedly, it's around 270. So think about that. My best close ever is around 160. This is 270. Impossible. Feels impossible. Let me try to see what I can credit card close. I've not tried these very often. I'm super curious. Yeah, Nick Butter, that's a stupid gripper, isn't it? Isn't that just nuts? Whoa! You got no. Listen to what John put. He has a tedding universe. The tedding universe is nuts. Yeah, 270 pounds. Can you believe that? Isn't that wild? You have a tedding universe? Oh crap! Tedding universe is much harder than what I just showed you. I knew Warren Tedding very well. I live right now 0.6 of a mile from where he was. When I was in college and I was training my grip, he'd have me go around on campus and sell some of the Teddings. I helped set up the Mash Monster ladder on the grip board, if you know what that is. I'm going to go for a legit credit card close. It's just a number 1, but the grip's not feeling great. But I'll demonstrate what you have to do. In the comments, just let me know if you think I met the rules. So I set it super deep. I slowly let it out. Yep. So I think that would count. Let me chalk up. Let me just do some rapid fire. So that was 74. Man, you guys are awesome. Yeah, thanks for the crushing. Oh, yes. We've been waiting to have half a minute. That's Kevin. Kevin's on the chat now. Nice, dude. He's actually got a pretty sick grip, as a matter of fact. And he's got a pretty cool, he just got his number 2 just showed up. It's rated 110. That's a rare, no, that's a rare number 2. Well done, man. That 74 wasn't too bad. Let's jump up. And remember, so what was the whole point? We're in week 4 of week 7. We'll get this on YouTube later so you can watch it. And we had a very good night. Now we're just seeing, after all that, after the negatives, what can we credit card shut? Let's jump to an 88. That's actually a pretty big jump. Going 74 to 88 is a big jump when you've already done some work. Yeah, we should all be going to bed, but... Oh, you saw it, Josh. Yeah, man. He's in here too. That's my guy from the grip board. He's going to be trying this program. I hope he likes it. This will work. All right, we're going to credit card set this. If it looks like I didn't do it, let me know in the comments. So I'm going to set it way deeper than I need to, get my credit card ready, and I slowly let it out. Come on now, please don't be much farther. By the way, my skin feels like trash. Got it. That was hard. Why was that hard? Because we've been doing grip training. And honestly, for me, a credit card gets to be pretty wide. When we were doing, even using this, which is only 38, that's not that bad for me. But there's something about the extra distance, the difficulty of that. I'll keep going. There's still more in the tank. I don't know how much more. After my 88, so I have one weakness in my collection. The weakness in my collection, so I've got about 150 grippers, and as you can see, they're all tagged. I know the strength. When I go from 88 to 95, that's a 7 pound. Sorry about the king. That's a 7 pound gap. So it's just tough. Dude, small-handed folks, I don't know what they're supposed to do with grippers. I really don't. The certification's tough. Let me jump right in this 95. I'm guessing tonight I'll either just get it or just miss it. If I just get it, we're in luck. I have a lot of micro jumps I can make. If I miss it, well, we're out of luck. But this is a useful tool. I haven't tried this in a very long time. And certainly haven't tried it fresh in a while. I have to pass this card through. Hopefully we don't hear that. If you're hearing a lot of that, I probably didn't have it wide enough. Boom. So I set it super narrow there. Let's let it open up. Hopefully it doesn't have to open up. Yeah, it's opening up pretty far, but it has to, right? So I think that's it. Oh! Closed, I think. So when I go for a hard one, my go-to is just going out hard in front. I don't know why I do that. That's just what I do. I don't know if it was closed. I think it was. We're all our worst judges, but I honestly think I got that. Oh, yes. Josh, thanks, Josh. Thanks, Tower Time. Yeah, this is interesting. Week 4 went pretty good, a little better than I thought. I'm kind of excited that... Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, sub the channel. That way you won't miss the next one. Tight Budget Films. We appreciate it. Smaller hands. And that, yeah, so the Mash Monster set is the way. I was talking about this a little bit ago. I started that. Bill Pache, the guy with the grip board who used to own it before he passed it on to Matt Cannon, he knew that I knew Warren. We lived real close. And I sold the grip equipment for Warren. So he contacted me, said, hey, I want to get a gripper that's not so hand size dependent. And he told me the dimensions. I went to Warren. We made up some mocks. Mailed it to him, tweaked it. Mailed it to him, tweaked it. Different things like that. Thank you. So look, I have some rare grippers, and I guess we're kind of getting it. I guess we're kind of getting into it. I could go get those number 4s. Carl Meyerskoff would be credited now with probably having the strongest grip ever measured. He can do the GHP 10. His came in at 263. Well, actually, I should let other people tell that story. There's video footage of him. He's the beast. He's massive. But what I want to say is, I've got some rare grippers. They're in the other room. I wonder if maybe we should go get them. Yeah, asking the number 4. I've got that. I'll attempt the number 4 if you want. Well, he does videos where he takes fruits and he pops them. He's got a crazy grip. He was trying to get into the Olympics. He's 6'10", probably has some good sized hands, but either way, man, he's an animal, right? If you can do that, it's an animal. Oh yeah. Well, I've got the colored ones. They're a pretty good time. They are pretty rare. The Steel Advanced is super rare. I've got a number 4 that's super easy, so that would probably be considered pretty rare. We're doing random credit card certs. I got the 95. Let me jump up to a 98. So we're gonna make, dude. Yes, I'm so glad. So our guy Kevin, who's on there, he's going by half. He knows exactly what he's talking about. We've been trying to line up some training or some stuff like this we find it. So we're jumping up 3 pounds. I think I can get it. My number 2s, I have 12 number 2s. They make really small jumps, so it'd be very accurate to see where I finally lose it. But I think I'll get this one. Just tell me if I got it or not. Set it way too deep first. Let the gripper open you up slowly. Oh, God, this is so wide. Okay, that counts. Again, don't know if I got it. My gut says I got it. That feels like I got it, but I can't say that. I wasn't able to view it. Okay, that's good to know. So I could credit card close, super easy 2s. I think I'll get stuck here tonight. I've lent out one of my easier 2s. Here's my 103. It's a double stamp. Well, I can't call it double stamp because double stamp implies a certain vintage. I'll try this in a second. I'll do a light one in my left hand because we haven't done any left hands. I try to work the grip evenly, so this should be pretty easy. Watch me miss it. So I know I got that. I mean, if somebody in the chat says I didn't get it, I think they're just messing with me, and that's fine too. Fingertip seems to touch higher in the palm. Yep, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fingertip handles seem to touch. Nice, thanks, man. Why not just rig a simple pressure switch that chimes the bell when you? Because I'm not smart. I've wondered if there isn't a market or a way for someone to do that. A smart person. I think I would be into that. I'd want to try it. I don't know if there's a way to embed it. The other thing I thought about, and again, this probably isn't smart, is if you could somehow, this is so dumb. If there's like 2 chemicals, you could just put one on each handle, and when they touch, they make like, I don't know if it's like a spark, but a light or a noise, then you'd know it touched. In some ways, not knowing or having the debate about it with your buddies at the gym, although most of my buddies come here to train grippers, we hit the other stuff in the gym. It's super fun, so I like that. Wait, you see it? Wait, you could actually do that? All right, I will try the number 4. I have to tell you a couple things. I'm not going to shut it. Surprise. We've done a lot of grip training, but yeah, I'll try it. I'm not going to hurt myself. It's not going to be impressive though. Like, you're not going to like what you... Actually, I know what I can do. I'm so sorry. I'm going to take this with me. I have to go get the number 4. I can show you a couple other pretty rare grippers. I know 101, you're not supposed to move a camera, but I'm gonna make it worth the effort here. This is my gripper dresser. The right side is all grippers. Well, a lot of them are in the other room now, but these are half of my number 3s. These are the mid-range number 3s. This is a super hard number 3. This is like an impossible. This is impossible. Well, it's not impossible for some people. It's 160. It's the widest gripper I own. I could try this. I'd have as much success as the 4. And so these are my hard number 3s. Some GHP. I have an easy. People may think this is interesting. And these are all my Teddings. There's some of them. People may think this is interesting. This is a 165. A 3.5. A 3.5 at 165 is considered stupid easy. My best close ever in the history of my life was 161. That was like 24, 25. But he wasn't asking about that. So again, these are some of my Teddings. Oh, god dang it. I should have had this out. I needed an 82 tonight. I never know where all my grippers are. This is the super advanced. Dang it, that would have been super useful when I was looking for my 82. So if those are my Teddings, here's what we have underneath. More Teddings. More Teddings underneath. Oh, here it is. It was already in front of us. I'm sorry. Oh, what's this? Here's a GHP 9. These are kind of hard to get your hands on. This comes in at 210. So that's slightly easier, number 4 range. And then here's this is a pretty easy one. 203. Number 4. This one is easier than that one. This one comes in at 200. Anything below 200 is hardcore collector. If you have one easier than 200, let me know. I will pay you a lot. I'll go back in the other room where the chalk is. Somebody said try it. And then I'll give you my thoughts on that. God dang it. No, I want to show you one other thing. And I promise this will be worth it. I'm doing a video second week of January about the world's rarest grippers. Because this one might be, I would say this is probably the second rarest gripper. This. This was the first attempt at making an Iron Mine number 2. I will open it and show you. The first attempt. It looks nothing like it. This is now called the prototype. Comes in at 112 pounds. This gripper's only been closed once in its life. It's very old. It was closed just to rank it. The handles are steel. It's an all-chrome spring that could rust out. You can see it getting pitted from rust no matter what I do. Randy Strawson, Warren Tedding, grip geniuses, and a third guy got together, and they wanted to make these industrial hand grippers for the masses. So what they started doing, and they found out it didn't work, is they took handles. They were trying to spot weld it here. The problem with the welding is it was weakening the spring a great deal, and they were exploding. So then Warren came up with the idea. No, the third guy whose name escapes me right now. Warren manufactured, they said, pin it. Drill hole. So this leg, I don't know if you knew this, a leg on a gripper probably goes down to here in a lot of the hand grippers, but at least to there, clearly. So they started messing around with drilling holes and using set pins in there. If you look there, that's what you see. Embedded, 3 millimeters maybe, is part of a set pin. So they discovered that this was going to be the method. This is the strength that they wanted. So very few were made this way, but they were made with set pins. This one was gifted to the third gentleman's son. He has the 2, and he has the 3. The 3 he's going to hang on to for a while. He said he'll likely give it to his son. I'll reach out to him at one point and see if he's interested in selling. It's a very heavy gripper because these are steel handles. And they're actually knurled in a very odd manner. I don't know how to describe it. You've not held a gripper with this kind of knurling. Estimates from different people I know who I trust say anywhere between $2,500 to $3,500. There's a collector on the East Coast in Pittsburgh. He was willing to pay me like $1,500 for that pretty basic advanced we saw in the other room. Although cool, pretty basic, I can only imagine what he'd do with this. The problem is, it's not for sale. It should be in a grip museum. I've talked too much. Let me grab this number 4. I will chalk and try it. Julie, ¿quieres ayuda? Wife's asking for help, so that's what we're going to do. There's one thing you can do. This is the last piece of advice. I have a lot more, but there's only so much time, right? And unfortunately, in my other room, I didn't see the chat. Let's see, I could read that. That's cool. All right, so number 4 is coming. Take a simple continuity tester. I don't know what that means for you. 203, I'm not even budgeting it, no. So what are they worth? They're worth a variety. We kind of talked about that. They're worth a lot, I'd say. Excalibur, god dang, that's a cool thing. Yeah, the red hat plastic ones, that's kind of what I know. Set screw, yes, thank you. I think I called it a set pin, set screw, thank you. Who made Heavy Grip? It's cut out the inside of the handles. Oh, you mean Heavy Grip. That's, I have it sitting around here. We've been using it all night to demo. Here, Heavy Grip is actually probably the most popular. Them and Iron Mine are the most popular. They put it right here. Now this is a rare one because this is actually the Bone Crusher edition. But the Heavy Grip is still the same. Knurling's not as rough. They're even shinier now. John, you're a collector. Contact me offline. I would love for you to tell me a lot of stories about that gripper. Holy crap. So let me chalk up. Here's the last tactic and thing I used. Knowing that I won't be shutting this number 4 because I'm not one of 5 guys out there that can. I'm going to try something at first. In order to gauge progress, I'm going to set this gripper and nothing's going to happen. And I'm going to see if I can at least shut it down to this distance. I'd be ecstatic if I could close the gripper down to this. I don't know that I can, but dang it, I'm going to try. If I were fresh, I think I don't know. If I were fresh, I could maybe get it down there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Here goes nothing. So how am I going to do this? Because it's wider than I usually hold them like this, but this is wider. Oh, I'll do it anyways. You're going to see me overset this thing, and then I'm going to try to get it in there, but I don't even think we'll be close. Anytime you're going to try something, though, try it all the way or don't try it. Well, boys and girls, that's me on the Iron Mine 4. So I could not fit this in between it. This is 38 millimeters. There was still some play this way. I think we all saw that. So the question that we're really asking ourselves is, or I am because I'm a grip nerd, is how far would I have been this way? I don't know. Maybe not as far as... You know what? Maybe fresh I could get it down here. That's still not a close, mind you. That's still not a close, but maybe. Yeah, how about that? Get some smelling salts. You guys have been great tonight. I appreciate it. Hey, sub the channel if you like this grip stuff. I like to get into the weeds. I had no idea, and I'm being serious, I had no idea so many of you were smart about this stuff. Some of you guys have some rare grippers. Some of you had some good input. We go live all the time. Tomorrow we're cleaning our grippers. We're going to calibrate some, if that's your thing, but I mostly just appreciate it. I really don't have much strength left, and the wife's calling. So here we go. Yeah, that thing's absolutely crazy. So here's the number 4, right? We all just said that the number 4 is nuts. Well, here's the world class. See that? Do you see that? This is rated 200. This probably comes in 275. Hey, everybody. Thanks a great night. I thoroughly enjoyed it.